Three. Okay, welcome back everybody to our 6th episode of the Oriental Scoop.
Scoop! We out here.
So,
we are out here.
so my name is Ali and my partner here is Martez.
My part, like,
Hey,
don't you ever do me like that again.
His partner's Mortaz. Yo, what's up, Mortaz?
My significant other, bro.
Significant other. Sorry, is Martez. And we have, there's always a special guest on, so our special guest...
Our specialist guest, may I add.
Guest
K to the A.
Yo.
is the big K,
Yo.
living in the big L.
Whoa, what's up,
Yo.
what's up, what's up?
No,
JKL, baby.
What's
I know
up?
my ABCs.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, you know. I feel very honored to be here on this podcast, you know.
So, Karim is Fintech alpha male.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, tell everyone, I'm sure our audience has a sub 80 IQ, so they need you to tell them what
what
Fintech
you do
is.
exactly.
Please tell them what Fintech is.
Fintech is financial technology, which is all like the new startups that are in like the finance space. So we help like secure them funding. We help with their growth. We try to connect them with the VCs as well. So some really cool stuff. But enough about me, bro. Thank you for having me on this podcast.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in.
So Karim just he came back from London a couple of days ago.
I did.
It's been a big change, I think, from, you know, you're just visiting here now, and I'm sure that many things that maybe you got used to or things you take for granted there.
Bro, huge change. And no, it's crazy, man, when you go and you see how much the country has changed. Like how much money you need to hold when you go out. You go out last week, like a couple of days ago, started off at $100. It was 4.4 million, man. I've never felt so rich in my life. Like that was a crazy thing. And no, it's just insane, man. It's insane, like how the country's almost frozen in time. I don't know, man.
Cuba type
Have you
beat.
tried paying for stuff?
Tried paying for stuff, man. No one like takes card. Obviously, it's only cash now everywhere, except
Yeah.
that Hotel Albergo, bro. That place, you know. Some like, you know, some of like the high end places, like, and
They
they just
only
have their
take
prices in dollars.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy, right? Khalas, they're not gonna change their prices every
You
day.
actually now get the menus at restaurants in dollars.
Yeah, right.
Not
It's
everyone.
it's a U.S. territory, but we're
Yeah.
Puerto Rico. Baby.
Yeah, man. No, it's crazy.
Where's my passport at?
Where's my
It's
passport?
crazy. No, and it seems like, you know, it's not, man, it's the funniest thing ever, because I swear to God, I wrote an article, man, back
I remember this.
Lebanese academic
I remember
on
this.
Karim's Corner, right? The first like thing I ever did, it was a blog. This was November, bro. It was the week after the Thawra, like literally, or 2 or 3 days after the Thawra, man. When like they were kind of saying that they were gonna close banks. I wrote this article saying that like how the country's gonna go to shit soon enough, and like just like all of this financial engineering that the central bank was doing is insane. And I said, bro, the last line was something like, and you'd be lucky if you can get a sandwich from Barbad for 100 thou. And this was, bro, November, like, what? No, the Thawra was October 19th,
Yeah,
right?
November
This was
2019.
like end of October, early November
You
2019.
know something funny? I was just about to say this.
Bro, I was at
about
Barbad
Barbad.
yesterday, man. I was at Barbad Mberah,
How
man.
much did you
Sandwich, 250K, bro. 250,000. So, I'm sorry to say, I was so wrong. I was wrong, man. Because it's so much more,
You
man.
underestimated
Because it's so odd, man, how funny it was. Because when you say it then, like a sandwich at Barbad for 100K, like, it's laughable, you know? Because
Yeah,
a decade
yeah.
sandwich is 7.5K.
Hatta,
Like-
bro, it was 4,000.
I remember-
لا what? No, okay, let's say 7,000.
5000. It was 5,000.
It was an article, right? I remember,
Yeah.
I think, reading it, and then I said, no way,
No
way,
way.
No way.
Get real.
No way. Crazy, man. Just insane
So
stuff.
what happened to Karim's Corner?
Like the first iteration was Karim's Corner, which was
Like, they had to
first-
murder him after such a good prediction. They killed him.
they killed me off, man. The first iteration of
Matrix
what,
killed him
yeah,
off.
man, was I really like to like, you know, write and stuff and just do like some short form research. So I did Karim's Corner. So then, like, you know, who the hell's reading a blog, bro? Who's going on the computer,
reading a
like,
blog?
writing like www.
Like maybe Bruce B. Bartlett.
Right? You have like 2 readers or something. No one was doing the blog. So after that, there was COVID that came, and I said, yo, great time to start like an Instagram page. I did, and it was so much fun. It was one of like the most probably self-pleasing times of my life. Like, you know, when you build a small following nonetheless.
So just like when you were 13, bro.
No, I know what that means. A small like loyal following. It was so much fun, man. And then I always thought after that, like, you know, I keep on like, you know, going in the way of like research and stuff. I just love like politics and history and like econ and like how they converge with each other. And I feel like, you know, many people like they look at the world or like the situation that we're in through like one specific lens, but they forget like, you know, there's just like so many different facets that you need to look at when you're like trying to analyze or understand something, right? But it's always like, oh no, word of mouth instead, like on a smart head, tell us this is the case, you know, or like one right, or like one outlet that you see on the news, or like it's crazy because now with social media, like you can like narrow your view to just the pages or like the outlets that you follow. So like your information is just like funneled through this one filter. So whatever you want to hear, you can hear if you follow these sorts of pages. And even if you don't follow them, like the AI is done so good that like if you just like a couple of these posts, that's the information that it's going to give you. If you like a dumb, like, you know, whatever type of post, it's going to just give you this information. So we know so many people, all of us, that are just like, that like
that's exactly the reason why there is polarization on social media.
So is it just, what do you think is the issue? Is it just that you get to choose where your information comes in from, and then that only further propagates what you get with
I feel that you need to make a conscious, like it's so difficult because you need to make a conscious decision to get your information from different sources. Like it's not something that's just gonna come with you sitting down. Like you need to realize it, and you need to make the conscious decision to get your information from certain sources. And it's like, you know, and it's because information's free now. So no one wants to pay for pay for the paywall, right? For like The Economist or the Financial Times or whatever. Like no one wants to do that. It's like, what the hell? Because we're just bombarded with so much information. But what you're paying for is the quality of news that you're reading as well. So if you get your sources and like, you know, just from random websites and stuff, that's what you're gonna get. You need to make the conscious decision to like look at different sources, to actually like look at like experienced like journalists and people
so
that
you
know
mean
what they're researching. Political pen's an interesting one. Like one thing I do respect about him, maybe like we'll start with that, is that no man, no, it's definitely not that. I don't even think so. Like, bro, it's not journalism. What, like, what's it's not
opinionism,
bro, it's not even, bro, what opinionism or journalism? It's a one line, like he posts a video of someone getting beaten up and like then it's like a one line Raikom, like this isn't like journalism.
What do you think, bro?
This is like what do you think?
No context. What do you think?
And what political pen is, man, it's just a thing. I haven't checked the page in a long time, so like I don't know what changed.
Yeah, same.
But I just remember it being like a thing, like a comments ranking, like who can say the funniest comment, right? And then you can just tell from the name, like مين الشيعي, مين المسيحي, مين السني, and like, you know, and then like, you know, كل الشيعة, they like the Shia comment, كل المسيحية, they like the Masihi comment, and you see which one has more likes. Is it Shia comment has more likes? Fuck it, like the Shia are winning or the Masihi are winning, you know, like this is what it was, just to go to the comments and to see like what's going on there. Like it's bullshit.
Which
it's
race?
Yeah, man, it's not journalism, but it's like, I guess like to give him the credit, he does like show like problems in the country. But on the other side, it's, if you just look at his page, you think that like, man, you just get bombarded with so much negative.
You think this country is in really awful state and there's an active civil war going on.
Yeah, man.
That's what you think if you look at the page.
Yeah, and
I think that we have one of the worst economies in the world. I mean, what is this crazy?
Who would have thought?
Bro, we do. Well, yeah, like, right? Okay, it's being sarcastic. Yeah, we do, man. Like, it's pretty shit. But like, man, like, what kind of world is this in? Shaida.
Keep going.
Yo, thank you for that light, man. Like, yeah, what kind of world do you want to live in, man? If you're just bombarded with all this negative information, you're living your life in like just like this negativity, man. Anything you see, like, oh my god, like everything's so terrible. Yeah. So like, why do you want to bombard yourself with all this like negative information? And not just this, bro. People in general, whether it's political pan or Lebanon or just on social media, you're like, bro, or even watching the news and shit. Like, you just get bombarded with so much like negativity. I was making a joke to my dad. I'm like, hey, have you ever watched news in MTV, LBC, and you ever hear like a story where at the end you have a smile on your face? You're like, yeah, you know.
Then why do you watch the
Like,
news?
why do you? Even like, so yeah, man. Like you're just like so negative and so
the thing
sad
is,
all the time.
there's so much access to information that you worry. Okay, oh my God, you can't believe a theft happened here and a crime happened there. I'm definitely gonna be the victim of a crime. Okay, you think crime didn't happen before? Yeah, it probably did, but you didn't know when it happened.
Yeah, man. No, it's messed up. It's messed up. I think like, you know, like you need to make the conscious decision to like know how to use social media and need to like, you know, recognize its faults if you want it to be for your betterment. Like it can be, excuse me, it can be so good for you. It like really has so many benefits as well. But you need to like, you know,
I think detox yourself from social media.
detox.
Like,
Right? Yeah. Know how to mute people.
Yeah.
Know how to mute things. Like know how to like cater your like feed or your news feed to like show you information that is actually like beneficial to you in your life, not just like, you know, like consume or tits or whatever you want, like, you know. And like
I remember at one point the explore page on Instagram.
Yeah.
So my explore page was filled with women for some
100%.
reason.
For some reason.
For some reason
Who
that I
could've
can't
guessed?
explain, bro. Why was it filled with women, man?
I had to actively
For
make
some reason. It's not me, bro. It wasn't me.
It's not me.
It's not me.
I think it's the default setting. of
Default
Insta.
setting, bro. It's the default setting.
Age range,
Male.
gender, male.
So
Yeah.
I had to actively put an effort into start liking like posts not related to any of this stuff, so that I finally get cars and gym stuff on my explore page.
100%. And one thing that you can do is on that you can like click the 3 buttons and say not interested.
Yeah, I tried
And,
that.
and you keep on doing not interested, not interested, not interested. It stops showing up. But like I've told this to so many people, they're like, oh, I had no idea that you can do this. And the thing is, because most people don't understand how the algorithm works. Like, why would they understand how it works so they can like actually know what to do? Like they just wouldn't. Yeah, it's crazy.
So we spoke a bit about the things you found different here in a negative light. What are things that you feel that maybe you take for granted when you're here? Things that you miss the most? Maybe, for example, things other than family, but things that you can't really have access to when you're in London.
You told us off camera you're thinking of prolonging your stay, your visit here to Lebanon. So why is that?
It's weird, man. I don't know. Like it's so tough to like put an answer on it. Why do I want to stay?
Don't be shy, bro.
Yeah.
You can tell them why.
Yeah, maybe because man, like maybe like if you're sentimental about the country you're from and the things you do here, I don't know. Like I want to go hiking with the boys. I want to like go up camping, man. I want to explore like my own home. It's nice, bro.
Oriental Scoop Campfire Edition.
Oriental Scoop Campfire Edition. Yo,
Yo.
yes, please. Yes, please.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, I swear. That'd be awesome.
Low jack, soy jack.
We should do it. 100%. 100%. I really want to just explore. I feel like when you're away for so long, then you start thinking like, what are the things that you missed out on here? It's not like, yo, bro, or like,
bro, Love Night. I missed out on Love Night. Man.
Grand Factory, bro. Let's go. Like, that's the one weird thing I think, or maybe like it's pros and cons. Like, no, لما ظهرنا مرة yo, when we went Dead End MK, bro, and like you walk inside, man, the place, and it's just like, it's a very Lebanese. It's the most Lebanese thing ever, man. Like, because it's such a small country and everyone knows everyone else. When you walk into a place, everyone's like looking like, do we know this guy? Do we know this girl? Like, where do we know them from? Is he cute? Is she cute? Like, it's crazy, man. It's such a Lebanese thing.
And the other thing, you can't have Lebanese without valet bothering you every 2 minutes.
Valet, or bala hek, shabibi with the BMI8, bro, parking it in between
with
all the people, bro, you
with
know?
the poked out exhaust.
Pimped out exhaust, bro, twin turbo. Goes like, I love this guy. I'd love to be his friend. Like, he's such a great.
Couldn't buy his date a drink, but but you best believe he's buying fuel for that car.
Buying fuel, bro. I wonder what book he's reading this week. You know?
I wonder where he gets his
where he gets his news from, bro.
He's definitely keeps an open mind. You
definitely
know?
does, man. So like these are, but like, you know, like we shit on people, like, okay, but there's also great stuff too. But these are things that like, yeah,
you only find here.
Right, that you
only find here. That you set a time to go out at 10 p.m. and then you end up meeting everyone at like 11:30 p.m.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Never gets old.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
miss this.
Or like, you know, people that have been doing the same stuff, man, for like the
Yeah.
past like 10 years. Now we're 25, right? Like, bro, we're getting older. Like now, like I've never felt like an adult until like recently. Until maybe when I was 24, I started to like actually
Do
feel
adult stuff.
like, no, right? Because like, okay, when you're, man, it's so funny because when you're 15 or like a kid, you see an 18-year-old, you're like, wow.
They're on top of the world,
He's
man.
Like-
legal.
Like, yeah, he probably understands.
He can drive.
Bro, he probably like has all the answers to life, you know? He probably knows everything. And then you turn 18, and then you turn 25, and you're just like, shit. Or then you look at your parents. Man, the biggest realization is when you figure out that your parents are as
Aren't as
are as clueless as you in a sense, and are just
are not infallible.
are not like, you know, are
Yeah.
not like the most like
and they're vulnerable and not maybe emotionally
Right.
as, you know.
stable, and they also
Yeah.
feel anger, fear.
Yo,
They
I hope you're
also
listening to this.
Mom, I love you.
I love my
Shout out
parents.
to our family.
I love my parents. Like they also feel anger and like fear and like have
And
like,
they also
you know,
make mistakes.
and they make mistakes as well. But like what strength it takes for them to like, you know, still hold themselves up high. And I think that's what I think being an adult is, that like nothing changes from when you're 15 to 25 or 30. You're still gonna feel lost, make mistakes, and like,
I think it's just the experience.
but it's how you hold yourself as well. Like, how do you like deal with it? Like, do you get like scared? Like, if you're 15 or a kid, you're gonna go to your mom, like, right? But are you gonna do that when you're 30?
Who are you
Maybe in a
gonna go
different
to?
way,
And
right?
how do you do that?
What do you mean?
Through experience. You
Uh-huh.
you learn through
Experience.
experience, and then you realize that you can solve your own problems instead of going back
Right?
to your mom.
And like knowing how to like, you know,
Speak
take
for yourself, baby.
Right? Yeah.
I'm on the Ugu Gaga type beat.
Ooh, Gaga. On the mommy.
Hey, mom, where you at?
Yeah. Nah, man, for sure. And like, there is a place for like parents and like your mom in your heart, even until now, like 100%, which I think is wonderful. But I also think like, you know, like the one thing I learned is that like at this age, man, like this is when like you really, yeah, you got to deal with your own shit and like know how to not freak out, know how to not like let like, I don't know, the anxiety or the panic like get to you, because you can't. Because like, what are you, man? Like, you just like, everyone has problems in their
So-
lives.
How long have you been in the UK for?
2 years.
2 years. In these past 2 years, has anything happened that has led you to feel panicked at some point, not knowing what to do when you had to actually solve the problem on your own, or no
Yeah.
life-altering problem has occurred?
Bro, I'll tell you one problem that isn't like necessarily like that, but I felt like it changed me in some way. It made me like a calmer person, I feel, or more understanding. Is like a belief in some type of force or God. You know, like for me, one thing that really got to me, and I told Mu'taz about this in the past, was I used to vape, bro, because you know vaping's extremely healthy, right? Vaping's like the healthiest thing ever. Bro,
It's just some glycerol, right? It's just some smoke. It doesn't have any tar, right?
There aren't any studies about cancer yet.
it's just the
Right?
$2 vape, bro. You know
It's
what?
just a $2. Oh, it's sold for you with profit for $2.
$2.
What a good healthy
Good
product.
deal, bro, and it's colorful and it smells
And
good.
it's we're being ironic, guys. Please check out Popcorn Lung or
Yeah, just space yourself on the microphone. Don't eat it.
guys, check out Popcorn Lung. Check out e-cig induced. What's it called? E-Valley, E-Vape associated lung disease, something like that. Okay,
Oh.
watch out. Vape isn't healthy. We're having fun. We're laughing.
We're laughing.
Okay, please don't vape
Don't vape.
and don't smoke, of course.
Don't vape.
We should put on the do not smoke case.
But
Yeah.
you can.
But you can use other things. It's cool. We'll talk about this in a bit, but yeah, man, I
some
felt,
icebreaker mint.
yeah, I felt that I had like, you know, I think I got like vape-induced asthma, man, or something like this from vaping, right? And I got really freaked out. I had like a wheeze and all these things, and it was like terrible. I don't smoke anything anymore. Like, I don't do anything at all. But
So that's the thing that made you believe in a higher power?
I'll tell you, bro. Do you know how they say like, you know, everyone's an atheist until the plane starts crashing,
Yeah.
right? Like, right? And
What
then,
if the
like,
plane's always crashing?
yeah, man. And then I felt. No, I'll tell you what I felt about this, man.
Welcome to my life. No, I'm
sorry.
kidding.
this is something that I think we've talked about like
Yeah.
in the past, but like one thing, like one realization I had was that once I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, why do you believe in God? Back when I was like extremely like, you know, critical about everything.
He was on Reddit.
I was, you know, I
on
was
political
probably,
pen.
it's probably one of
On
those
Reddit,
like
on
feeds.
political pen.
Unhinged Redditor.
Yeah, I asked my mom, like, why do you like believe in God? And she told me, because sometimes I think I can't do something, and then, you know, I pray to God, and then God gives me this power to do the thing I couldn't do. And back then, that blew my mind so much. Like, that was the biggest realization for me, because it's like, what a superpower, man. What a mental, like, what amazing mental gymnastics do you do in your head that gives you this real power, because it does end up being real, like, okay, because she ends up doing that thing, or like you can do that thing afterwards. And on that note, I think like it is biological to believe in something, whether it's true or not. It's not necessarily true, but I was saying, like, if you look at any religion or any culture on earth, any tribe, whether it's like, you know, in Alaska or like the pygmies of the Congo rainforest or everyone has a belief system. Everyone has a god.
At least the people, the nations that we heard of. So the failed ones probably didn't have.
Who knows, right? But like everyone has like some belief system to understand the world, and like, you know, for the pygmies it's it's like the forest, which is their god. You know, for other religion, for other cultures it could be something else, but everyone has a god. So I think that it's biological for you to believe in something, because it's an evolutionary benefit, because the people that believed in something had this
more
extra
strength.
edge. They had an edge.
I believe that even people who don't believe in God per se find something that they believe in.
100%.
It doesn't have to be like a superpower. Some people believe in like astrology.
100%.
Some people believe in crystals, stones.
100%.
Some
But
people,
one, yeah, 100%.
I'm sorry, they take like their political ideology into like this religious zealousy kind of lifestyle.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And like the thing that you notice with all of these things, because the need to believe is so enshrined in being human, is like with these things you form a cult, right? Because it's not just you want to believe in something yourself, it needs to be a community thing.
Yeah.
So then this is how cult forms, and cults can form like in anything, right? But it's just because like the need to believe with other people is so strong inside you, because you just want to have this understanding of the world. So I don't think it matters if like you're
If
Muslim.
it's real or not.
If it's
Doesn't
real or
matter.
not, like, you
what
know,
matters is it's gonna give me more strength.
it's gonna, yeah, right, and it's good for you as long like as long
So it needs to give you like a purpose, a goal,
purpose,
an aim.
right?
It
Some like
doesn't-
moral objective,
Doesn't
maybe.
necessarily. What do you mean? So it could just give you something, a reason to be more hopeful or resilient. I think that's all you need from it, right? You
Right,
don't need
yeah.
purpose from religion, right?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
you
yeah,
do.
right. I think like different religions give you like slightly different iterations on like what the purpose
yeah.
is, right? Like for Christianity, I'm not a Christian, but I feel for Christianity it's like, you know, this sort of calmness and understanding with everyone. Someone slaps you, turn the other cheek, you know, to give everyone this love, right? Kind of. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not a
It's,
Christian, but just a
It's salvation.
right.
The whole purpose of Christianity is salvation, right?
Do good
through the
deeds, I
Lord.
guess. Yeah. With
See-
Islam, man, what I love about Islam is, do you know the meme? God, what's the meme?
Give me.
Like, God, why do you?
Because you are my strongest warrior.
Right? It's like, God, why do you give me the hardest battles? And then God says, because you are my strongest warrior. Like, it's a meme, but it's like, as well, it's so
It's also
true,
the-
man.
the truth.
It's so true, and it's so like, I love that so much, because like, I think it shows you like, yeah, life is pretty shit sometimes, and like, there's so many hurdles that we have to deal with, and like, people think like, oh my God, like, we're the only ones that are dealing with problems. Like, how do you deal with them? And like, what a nice idea to say, because you are my strongest warrior, because you are a warrior in life. Which can also be flipped around. You know, it can also be
Used otherwise.
used in other ways maybe. But I just love that message.
But I think.
Let's not think of religion in that aspect. For example, I'm speaking more on people that
You're just a
take-
tool.
take some ideologies.
You're weaponized.
some ideologies into the extreme. So they don't believe in God, but maybe they believe in social justice, equality, and maybe to them it's bringing goodness into the world that gives them purpose.
100%,
So
yeah.
you see what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
But I wanted to touch on something quickly before we continue regarding this topic, and I think no one really discusses this, It's believing in God and believing in religion for strength and resilience and things like that, and not believing in it for
truth.
in of its. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think that's a wrong thing.
It's definitely not. And
Right? You can argue about the details. People can come and tell you, how could Moses have split the Red Sea, or stuff like that, or how did I don't know which prophet who was swallowed by a whale, how could he fit in the whale's mouth? You know, people tend to have these arguments. How about this? To these people, I tell you, I don't care.
it doesn't
I don't
matter.
care if you.
Yeah. It's like you're focusing on the wrong things. But you understand where they come from, right? Because they just want to have an understanding of the world, I guess. But in reality, it doesn't matter, man.
It doesn't matter if Jesus walked on water, or
I don't care. Because at the end of the day, is it actually true? Actually, is it true? It's not true. Okay, but does it matter, man? No, because it's our shared understanding. It's our shared heritage that has been passed on for thousands of years. Man, how amazing is it as well? I found this cool. I live in London, where you have I went to St. Paul's for the Christmas for the midnight Christmas service, man.
Yeah, I saw the story. It looks so nice.
So cool, but okay, these are white people. These are white Christians, Anglo-Saxons, man, from the UK. They're believing in a Middle Eastern Levantine religion based in Lebanon and Palestine. How the hell? And I think the awesome part of it is that, man, it ties them to an older world that they didn't belong to, right? It ties them to this shared heritage that they would otherwise have no idea or no knowledge about. It ties us all back to this one place in the Eastern Mediterranean that we can all come back to and say, yeah, in some way our culture at some level derived from there, and it's just shared 2-3 billion people.
And maybe through, when you say natural selection, only the ideologies that do survive over time, they're the ones that remain, right?
Yeah.
So if you want through natural selection, these the big three, or Christianity, Islam, Judaism, and the others, these are the ones that survived over time, because these are the ones that actually maybe help propagate societies forward.
Yeah, or had some structure. They gave some structure to the people that believed in them, right?
I think we think
or just they had the strongest warriors.
I mean,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Even if they had the strongest warrior, doesn't that mean that the religion makes strongest warrior?
Yeah, how many pagans are there? Vikings were pretty strong.
I mean, I think as well, religion isn't something that's a solid thing that doesn't change. It does evolve with time, and Christianity now, for example, is not what Christianity was 500 or 1,000 years ago, because if it doesn't evolve with time, people are gonna forget about it, and people are gonna not want to be religious anymore. If you see, for example, what the Pope's been doing, or the most recent 2 popes over the past 2 decades or something, just because everyone's leaving Christianity, there's been lots of reforms in the Christian church. If you see, and I find this so cool, popes now are a lot more humble. If you see what they were wearing 30, 40, 50 years ago, boy had a scepter, man. He had this crazy hat.
50 holiness
man,
power.
yeah, bro. Right, plus 100 XP, man. Had chains and just crazy bling everywhere.
Yeah.
And then it's been slowly decreasing, and now
Because they'd be criticized for it.
because it's what are you representing to Christianity? Why would the what is all this jewelry and what does it represent?
Yeah.
Is that the message of the meek Jesus Christ? Probably not.
Meek
So-
Mill, maybe.
Meek Mill. So now it's just it's just very plain clothing.
But does that give anyone the right to, let's say, change a religion as a whole just to attract more people?
Okay, so it goes back to our question. Is there an innate truth to the teachings? So, for example, when the Pope says, you can be gay now, you can still be gay and Christian. That was never accepted 100 years ago.
And
That's insane.
Technically, it still isn't in the Old and the New Testament. So
It doesn't matter, because you can say, because it just depends how you
How
look
you
at the
interpret
text.
it, yeah.
Is the text interpreted literally, or is it a metaphorical way on how to live a better life?
And that's
right?
exactly
And
the issue with what we
right?
said, yeah.
How do you want to look at it? Do you want to look at it literally?
Yeah.
Do you want to look at it like, do you want to look at hellfire as a real place where you're gonna die and burn forever and ever and ever, or do you want to look at it as a state of negativity that you want to avoid, right? And then, like, you know, seek greatness in other ways. Like, maybe that's a nicer way to look at it.
It is.
It depends on someone's own views.
It is
you
a
know?
nicer way to look at it, but if you don't have a religion that's set in stone and everyone can understand it in their own way, and every metaphor can be understood in a separate way, let's say, then would you really have a one cohesive religion? I mean, look at what happens when Shiites and Sunnis they interpret things differently in one religion. You have two different subsects of the same religion that are constantly fighting for thousands of years, or thousands or so years. So we'd have the same problem in Christianity.
Yeah, but I also think, like, you know, like these, like the infighting is more of like a cultural or like a political phenomenon rather than like a religious one. Look at like Europe, you know, there's Protestants, Anglicans, Catholics.
They already did their fighting.
Right, they did their fighting a long time ago. And like now Christians don't even know what they are. Like, they generally don't. Like, they don't know if they're Protestant or Catholic, or it's just such like a non-question that it doesn't matter. Yeah, but I completely agree with you. I don't think like you're asking the wrong. I think this is a realization. This is like the final, next, like, right, or one of the final realizations that maybe it doesn't matter like if it's true or not. That's not like the question that you should be asking yourself. Like, do you need religion? I think you do. I think that like there's many benefits.
And if you think you don't need it, I hope there won't be a day where you will change your mind. I hope no crisis will come upon you.
These people will find their own religion ultimately. They'll find their own way, their own religion. It doesn't have to be with God, but they'll find their own idea to follow.
But it's crazy, like when you get older, for example, or when you go through some hardship, if like
realize
Allah, right, or like,
guys, we need to take a break for like 2 minutes. I'm sorry I interrupted everyone.
Cool.
We're gonna come back.